Aussies are gone and their neighbours have made the huge journey to come and participate in our cricket season. It's time to look at India versus New Zealand. And I'm interested in the changes that the selectors have made to that India squad, especially asking Umesh Yadav and Mohammad Shami to go back and play Ranji Trophy cricket. Now, I appreciate the fact that Bumrah and Bhuvneshwar are doing really well, that there's only 3 one-day internationals, but India have to find a way of keeping Yadav and Shami in the mix. It wasn't too long ago at the World Cup of 2015 that they were the spearhead of India's bowling, and these are players of proven pedigree. So even though their recent records may not be outstanding, India have got to find a way of not losing Yadav and Shami to limited overs cricket. And that holds for Ashwin and Jadeja as well, Ashwin in particular, because I don't think we've got a finger spinner replacement for Ashwin. I can see why it's difficult to get them back in and why you need to prepare them for the test matches, because both Kuldeep Yadav and Yuzvendra Chahal have been fantastic. They've been match winners, they've been game changers. But again, I think the selectors have got to ensure that there is room for Ashwin and Jadeja in their plans as well. I'm a little disappointed with what's happened with Lokesh Rahul, because as a lot of you know, I rate him very, very highly, but he just did not have the runs. And I think by sending him back to play for Karnataka, the selectors are saying, look, there's no point you traveling around with the Indian team if you're not going to get a game. You might as well go back to Karnataka, go there and give us a double 100, not a single 100. Go back and give us a double 100, get time in the middle, get your rhythm back, because you will have a place back in the Indian team because you're far too good. But that is exactly what Dinesh Karthik has done. And the selectors are saying age doesn't matter. You go back to domestic cricket, you score a lot of runs, you come back, there will always be place for you. And Karthik has come back on the back of a lot of runs. So that much about the Indian team. What about India's opponents? I think India start favourites given the form that they are in and given how they've played against a relatively stronger Australian team, even though they weren't like the Australian teams of the past. I think New Zealand rely way too much on Kane Williamson, who I admire enormously. I think he's one of the great players of our times. But I hope Ross Taylor has not sort of crossed his peak. Suggests sometimes that he has. And the other big star, Martin Guptill, hasn't yet figured out a way to score runs in Asia. I mean, he scores runs for fun in other places, but in Asia he averages 26, strike rate 70s. That's not good enough. So he'll have to find a way to score runs in India. If he can, it'll make a big difference to them. But around these three, there's a lot of inexperience. I know there's people like Worker and Glenn Phillips, who's very exciting. They've been in India for a long time. They could well be the finds of this tour, but we don't know yet because there's a lot of inexperience there. The strength, though, is Southee and Boult, who I think are among the best new ball pairs in the world at the moment. But as we saw with the Australians, once Coulter-Nile and Cummins had gone, the game changed. What happens to New Zealand after Southee and Boult have bowled their opening spell? Again, there's a lot of inexperience there. And I think for New Zealand to make an impact in this series, it's the inexperienced players who will have to back these stars greatly. And that is what leads me to believe that India will start favourites in this one-day series.